Y'all? It is Crew, also known as a Rainy Storm, checking in. I am your cosmic rootwork astrologer, specializing in Mars activations as well as North and South Node consultations. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can hit me up at arainystorm.wix.com/info, and you can also check me out on all social media at arainystorm. So we are going to be talking about today the weekly astrology. We have the Scorpio. Whoa, no. Sagittarius. We Sagittarius season. Fuck is you talking about? We have the Sagittarius new moon going down this weekend, okay? Sunday, Monday, you know what I'm saying? We have that shit going down. We have Saturn, you know what I mean? I think it's been since last week, but Saturn is at its 29th degree in Capricorn right now, so you already know we're going to definitely be talking about that and going over that. And the moon will be going from Virgo through Sagittarius this week. Whew. I put as a note for the Sagittarius new moon is just releasing old beliefs, especially since the Sagittarius is sitting in the South Node right now. And Sagittarius South Node things have definitely been playing out this year. I mean, it's honestly kind of forecasted our entire year as far as like people and, you know, their belief systems and us, you know what I mean? Not to say that, you know, we not supposed to care about other people and in the world and things like that, but I think worrying about outside things that are not ourselves, you know, and one might say, well, that's a little selfish to be thinking, But in a time like this, now more than ever, we really do need to be thinking about ourselves and the things that we need and the things that we want in order for us to be able to move forward. Nonetheless, let's get into the weekly astrology, and we will be touching on that as we get into Sunday, Monday of the weekly astrology. So for those of y'all that's coming in for the first time, you know what I'm saying, welcome. I appreciate everybody who's been supporting, everybody who's, you know, left a comment or reached out and things like that. Shout out to y'all for sure. Announcements and updates. We do have the Mars activations. Definitely, you can definitely check out that link below, and we will be having another Mars activation. The first one was for the Scorpio new moon, and we were talking about like our plutonic energy and alchemizing that. And then for this Mars activation, we'll actually be talking about our Jupiterian energy, and I'll be talking about this book that I read called The Big Leap, and how that basically relates to what we're going to be, a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us are going to be experiencing. And I feel like if you're watching this channel, then I mean, you're going to be, or this video in general, this is what you come to experience. So let this be your message that you will be experiencing in the next, you know, I won't even say the next couple months, as we move forward, you know what I mean? So yeah, link below for that. So weekly astrology. So Monday the 7th, as we drop it like it's hot today, we have the sun in Sagittarius, and it will be conjuncting the South Node in Sagittarius. What's interesting about this is the moon will actually be conjuncting the South Node by the end of this week, as we reach like this weekend, Sunday, Monday. So it's so interesting. The sun and then the moon, you know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, this week, and then I'll talk about the moon in Virgo as well, but I feel like this week you really want to meditate and get a sense on like I said at the beginning, like what beliefs do I have, like what belief systems do I have that are still with me, that I've been lingering on for a long periodically time, you know what I mean, that I need to maybe see it in a new way. You know, higher energy or higher level frequency of Sagittarius is looking at things with a bigger picture, with a bigger scope, and not being so tied to your own beliefs and perspectives. Not to say that you can't believe what you believe, or you can't stand firm in your convictions, but I think just allowing yourself to have a little wiggle room to be able to accept other people's ideas and other people's opinions is a must, especially moving forward here. Damn, my ears have been ringing, y'all. So if y'all see me digging in my ears have been like, you know, fly flew into this bitch this morning. Like, it's another thing. Messages. This is the messengers. We're talking about Gemini, the full moon in Gemini to fucking Sagittarius new moon. Like, pay attention to the messages. Oh my God, because they're flooding in. You also want to see what house that this Sagittarius energy will be moving through. For me, it will be my 10th house. But for some of y'all, definitely see where Sagittarius is going to be moving throughout this week, or for the new moon specifically. The moon will also be in Virgo, trining over to Uranus and Taurus, and also the black moon in Lilith. And it will be opposing Neptune and Pisces and squaring Mercury in Sagittarius, the sun in the motherfucking South Node. This is a lot of mutable energy that's going to be going on this cardinal and mutable this week. A lot of mutable and cardinal energy, so things will be moving forward. But when we talk about the squares and we talk about like the tension that squares can create, and squares that basically you having to work through that energy to really get through, this is going to be the base of this week. I think this is going to be, out of all the breakthroughs that I've talked about, leading up into this point, into this week, and I would even say, next week for the, Saturn Jupiter conjunction. This is the week, y'all. This is the week. I would definitely say the final week. I want to say the final week for y'all to really get down to the nitty gritty of like, what is this going to be like for me without the limited ideals or limited restrictions or the limited thoughts that's kept yourself stagnant, that's kept you in the same mindset space. You know what I mean? Like I said in that last video, like you really have to get a sense. You got to look around at your reality. You know what I mean? Because Sagittarius kind of lives in its, outside and, in the world and all this other type of stuff. But Gemini is asking us to look in our local, North Node and Gemini is actually asking us to look in our local surroundings, where we're at right now, what's going on right now, what we're doing every day right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, what you doing? If there are things that you're looking at that you want to change in your life right now, like what have you been blinded? Neptune and Pisces opposing the moon in Virgo. What blinders have you been putting on? What rose-colored glasses, as we say when we talk about Pisces, and especially Neptune being in its home sign in direct as we speak? What rose-colored glasses, what I'm saying, have you kept on, to prevent you from actually moving forward? And what have you not been able to really dig out, to see what has kept you Mercury Sag, what has kept you South Node in Sag, what has kept you, in, this stagnant energy. Not to say that Sagittarius is necessarily a stagnant sign, but like I said, these old, tired belief systems. If there were things that you grew up with, or, or you're hanging around a certain group and, or even in your internal world that you've been telling yourself all this time, it's like, look around. Has what you've been telling yourself, or what you've been talking about, or what you've been looking outside of yourself, has that changed anything in your internal world? Are you seeing any progress in that? Not to say things are, things can change overnight, but in this case, we're just talking about from day to day. You know what I mean? What has put you in this position? You know what I mean? I think it's really getting a sense of that. So as we move into Tuesday, we have this T-square with the Venus in Scorpio, Moon in Virgo, sextile Jupiter and Saturn, and then we have Pluto in Capricorn. So we have mutable Earth, fixed water, and cardinal Earth, all doing a little dance on that thing on Tuesday, the 8th. And I feel like when we talk about Pluto and Capricorn, not only the restrictions, but another thing that I want to talk about too is this illusion of time. I think really, when we're talking about like, we as a human society are so quick. We like to rush through things. We like to, try to keep up with things, or, give ourselves, or be so restrictive. Moon in Virgo, be so restrictive, like, okay, we have to get this done. Pluto, we have to make sure that this is done by this or this, these deadlines and things like that, or I'll get to it, this and this and that. It's like, y'all, like, time is a fucking illusion. Yes, I'm not saying that you should not schedule or try to plan things out or whatever the case may be, or try to see what's going on or trying to see what's out there, but the time that you have is the time that you have. Work with the time that you have. Every day do something that gets you closer and closer to whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish, or what your mission is in this life. You know, with this Venus and Scorpio energy, we've already talked about this. You know, those friendship groups, yo, moving forward, it can either be a fucking op, you know what I mean, or this could be like your soul tribe. You know, when we talk about Virgo energy and we talk about the moons, it's like planting emotional harvest. You know what I mean? Like really getting deep down in and planning, removing restrictions of your mind or what you thought should be, especially when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to your finances. You know what I mean? Because we're talking about other people's money here with Scorpio. You know, try to think of and come up with new ways, new situations to break through and get you to where you want to be, and get you to where you need to be, to get you around people that, you know, resonate with you. One thing that we were talking about was just with everything that's been going on, is just like being in alignment with those things. You know, planting those seeds and being in alignment with the things that are truly beneficial for the growth and development of you as not only a person, but your outer world. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like the long term, what are we looking at here? You know what I mean? Not the short thing and what's going to get you this, no, I mean, or working so hard every single day, but still not seeing no results. And that, like I said, that could be in anything. Like, nah, yo, that work is going to be within, G. You got to get in that Virgo hermit mode. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers got to go inside the closet and get some things done. You know what I mean? Gotta get in those in that hermit mentality and really get to it. So we have Wednesday, we got the moon in Libra opposing Chiron in Aries, opposite Mars in Aries, and sextile Mercury in Sagittarius. Also Neptune in Pisces, squaring off to the Sun in Sagittarius and Mercury in Sagittarius. You know, so finding that balance within our emotions, being able to experience ourselves in our highest and truest, like, good, I wouldn't even say good, in our highest and truest frequency. You know, when I think about Chiron and Aries, and there's so much, like, I don't want to necessarily say this is us, because I think of rebranding as more so objects per se than people. But I mean, a brand is a person. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, we are walking brands. You know what I mean? But not, I don't want to objectify us in that kind of way. But you know what I'm saying? We are a representation. You know, who we are is a representation of what you see on our outward, and how we, you know what I mean, go about expressing our inward. We are walking brands. So this, to me, Wednesday, you know, and throughout until the you know, through the you know, Sagittarius new moon, like, we're really getting a sense of, like, all right, how are these things going to balance out for me? You know, this is who I am moving forward. But I'm still integrating my, you know, past self with this new version of myself. This past version of myself has never gone anywhere. It's still here. You know what I mean? It's still alive, and it's still very well, but it's just like, you know, now I have to integrate the two, you know, or even thinking of, like, the shadow side, the shadow self, and, you know, the self in the light, you know what I'm saying? Being able to integrate those two and still see both selves as valuable, you know what I mean? But understanding that you have a new, you know, removing the, like I said, the rose-colored glasses, and removing, like, the outward, hold on. Okay. Being able to basically remove those things that have kept you, you know. Then as we move into Thursday, and we have another, you know, T-square, and this is a cardinal square. So we have air, earth, and fire. So there's no water here. It's just earth, air, and fire. We have the moon in Libra, Mars in Aries, and then we have Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in Capricorn. You know what I mean? This is like the tipping point. Thursday is like the tipping point. You know what I'm saying? Before we jump into next week. You know, I feel like this is going to be the day of not only getting your, like, kind of like we talked about last week, but not only getting your meditating on your Sagittarius new moon intentions, but this is also too of like wherever this Saturn Jupiter conjunction is happening in your chart. I feel like, what's up, Night? You good?
Have you seen like they're like an off black type pants, and they're like sitting by the side, the right side among the...
Nah. No. I haven't seen no pants or nothing like that. Oh no, I ain't seen no pants. What was that? Anyway, yeah. So this is the cardinal T-square. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all, these not even these next 2 weeks. December into January is going to be intense. I'm gonna just keep it real. You know what I mean? And I've been talking about this, but for those of you that's coming in for the first time and that's watching this, it's gonna be intense. And I don't necessarily, I haven't, I wouldn't, not to say that the outside world is not going to continue to do what it's gonna do, but your internal world. This is going to be about looking inside of your internal world, looking to see what is saying what to you, what is trying to get to you, what is trying to really communicate with you, Mars and Aries, you moving forward. You know what I mean? There's a lot of energy like surfacing, and I think, you know, looking into what houses like this energy is playing out in. I would even say Thursday, look to see where Mars is transiting, look to see where the moon in Libra is transiting on Thursday, and look to see where Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto are transiting through your houses on Thursday. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that. You know what I mean? Look to see where those are transiting, and those places, those placements right there needs to be your focus in the next couple months. Like that needs to be your, you know, internal focus. And I know Saturn is going to be moving to Aquarius, also see where that's moving through too. But, and then Jupiter after that is going to be moving into Aquarius. So between Capricorn, all Saturn and Jupiter Capricorn, I mean, and then eventually Pluto will be there too. So look to see where those things are transiting in your chart. You know, what the Capricorn, this Capricorn energy, where Capricorn is in your chart, where Aquarius is in your chart, and look to see where Aries and Libra are squaring these energies. If you do have, you know, what's there and what is squaring off. Those are going to be your prime focuses, not even just for this week, but moving forward. This cardinal energy, and then we're going to be moving into fixed energy, then we're going to be moving into air energy. You know what I mean? Look to see where these placements are. That will be your focus. Okay, so Friday we got the moving into Scorpio, opposing Uranus in Taurus, with the moon and black moon Lilith, and then we have trine Neptune and Pisces, and then Mars and Aries squaring off this Pluto and Capricorn. I feel like this moon, for a lot of y'all, this moon in Scorpio, and then even as we move into Saturday with the moon in Scorpio conjunct Venus in Scorpio, this is going to be this weekend before we move into this Sagittarius energy. I know I keep telling y'all to meditate. I know I keep telling y'all to go within, but I am telling you, honestly, just like I said last week, anytime we have the moon going into Scorpio and then sextiling like Piscean energy or another water energy, or you know what I'm saying, or trining, you know, trining, sextiling, squaring, don't matter. Anytime we have the moon, especially with the moon being in Scorpio and as heavy as that moon can be in fucking Scorpio, I definitely say this will not be a time to be around a whole bunch of motherfuckers, to be around a whole bunch of people. You know, you definitely want to take time to meditate this weekend. I would definitely say to write this weekend, to dream this weekend. And I'm not just talking about just dreams of going into the future. Dreams of going into the future, but just like the dreams that you are dreaming about, or the symbols and the messages that you're getting. As I'm recording this, y'all, I just want y'all to know, I know I sound like really broken right now. Y'all already know, the people that know this know me. Like I started getting a whole bunch of downloads at one time, and my mind is just like, you know what I mean? So if I get to sound like all broken up and shit, it's not me, I promise you. It's like, it is me, but it's not me, but it is me. And it's like just a whole bunch of downloads going on at one time. This is a time for y'all to really go within, to seek the internal knowledge. You know what I mean? To really get into that, especially Pluto, Pluto Capricorn, squaring off to Mars and Aries, trine in the Sun in Sagittarius and Mercury in Sagittarius. This is the self work, this going internally and doing the self work. Going internally and, having those like real ass conversations and blunt ass scorpionic conversations about, all right, I know it's time for me to rise. I know it's time for me. I went and I'm going through this, coming out of Scorpio season and moving into this, back into this moon Scorpio energy since the last, Scorpio new moon, since we closed out November. And then moving into this energy again, getting the information that you learned from that Scorpio new moon, applying that shit to this new moon before we move into Sagittarius, and the message takes off into Sagittarius new moon. I know that was a lot, y'all. I know that shit was a lot, but for real, I'm telling you, like, yes. The messages that are coming through at this point in time, especially when we start moving into this weekend, listen to the messages. Get quiet and listen to the messages. Don't ignore these messages. Listen to the messages, y'all. Listen to the messages coming through. Okay? I don't want to keep sounding like a broken record, y'all, but I'm telling you, yo. I'm telling you. Because once we get into the Cancer, the Cancer full and the Capricorn full, you know what I'm saying? This is going back to the North Node energy that we had last year. You know what I mean? The North Node in Cancer, the Capricorn, South Node in Capricorn energy. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of, not to say that it's going to replay, but everything that manifested from that year before, this year before, when the North Node, was, North Node, like I said, North Node Cancer, South Node Capricorn, that shit is going to be playing out in 2021. And I'm not saying it's going to be playing out in front of your face, but things are going to come up so they're able to be cleared. This is a time of clearing. This is a time of getting your space, your mental emotions situated, your emotions grounded. If you can, go out in nature. If you can. If not, get into a space where you're confined, you're alone, you can think, you can be, you can connect, you can see. Like I always tell y'all, keep that pen and pad with you. Write the messages that you are getting. Understand the messages that you try to understand the messages you are getting before you go out and seek it, or ask somebody, or trying to get the knowledge, or going on and trying to figure out just sit with it. Sit with what's being brought to you, so you can meditate on your intentions. And for that Sagittarius new moon, you can put all of that you soaked up out of this week into that intent before you lift off. This is what I'm going to be talking about in the and I just realized that is this week, so I gotta get on that today. That is what's going to be coming through, for you during this. That's what's going to be coming through, and this is what we're going to be talking about during the Sagittarius new moon. You know what I mean? It's liftoff time. Like, now we went from talking about a year ago, 2 years ago, talking about the red pill and the blue pill, getting to this point and getting to this time. You know, here we are. I hope y'all are ready. You know what I mean? I really hope y'all are ready. You know, because I think it's more clear than it ever was now that the shift, and I'm not just talking about this conjunction. I'm not just talking about Saturn and Aquarius. The shift is happening. You know what I mean? We don't even have to get to these dates for it to go down. I'm going to be talking about it. We don't even have to get to these dates for this shit to go down. It's happening. The gates, the floodgates is open. The portals is open. It's just asking you, where is it that you want to go? Because once you make the decision for the Sagittarius new moon, that is the energy that you're going to be working with for some years. Even when Saturn moves in Aquarius, see what Saturn in Aquarius is moving in your house. That's the energy that you're going to be moving in. So yeah, I'm going to leave y'all with that. Because I'm having so many downloads right now. And I don't want to confuse y'all. I know it kind of sounds a little jumbled up and shit like that. But really, y'all, this is it. This is it. Okay? This right here is it. Okay? So it's a rainstorm checking in, checking out. You know what I mean? You know where to find me. Alright? Deuces, y'all.